this is the map that introduced Pack-a-Punch. Personally, I think it's the best map in zombies, and I'm gonna get into the many reasons why that is. And it has a great setup, it has a great plan, gameplay, and it has a really fun high round strategy. Of all the maps, I think it's the best one for all those reasons I just named right there. And I like the Black Ops 1 version over the World at War version. And, because the World at War version, you lose Jug if you waff yourself. The Black Ops 1 version, you can use Mule Kick with Sally's, which I thought were really cool. I mean, Sally's, like, being able to use it, it's just fun. And on this map, it fits in perfectly with everything else, the plan and the strategy and all that. However, the World at War version has the best overall sound and is the one that feels the most like a zombies game. I mean, if you play the World at War version of any map, just World at War, it just feels like classic zombies. Honestly, like it's where it all started, and there's a reason why the older games are better. Because if they would have just kept the formula from like World at War to BO1, I think zombies would still be great. But that's just my opinion. So take it with a grain of salt, however you want. So yeah. Reasons why I think this is the best map are, while camping in the Thompson area, you have a fluid momentum which has you moving in different directions and keeps you on your toes. Unlike Kino, which you make the same pattern that gets boring really quick. And while Kino, you're not stationary inside of one. In Kino, you are stationary. You just stay inside the trap, and then you're moving in a really boring pattern. So, yeah, like in this map, you don't do that. You get to move around a lot. So I really like that. And for those of you who don't high round or play like really for really long term periods of time for hours and hours, if you've never done that, or I don't blame you because it does get boring. But on this map, it's the least boring of all of them, because you're constantly moving around, you're constantly adjusting, and it just keeps you more diligent and awake. Whereas in Kino, I start spacing out and when you start setting a pattern that's really boring, yeah, you'll start spacing out and just get bored. Whereas on this one, you don't feel that as much. So yeah, that's kind of what I mean by that. Also, it's not super difficult to get used to doing. This is one of the more fun, easier maps, unlike 5, Shang, or Varug. Like, because those maps, yeah. Yeah. Good luck, man. They're fun because they're difficult, but they're also frustrating. It's one of those types of maps where you just get frustrated trying to get through it. But mostly my personal favorite reason is that this map allows you to grind through rounds the fastest. Now, that's really, yeah, that is actually something I really enjoy, because when rounds take forever to grind through, yeah, it just becomes real dreadful. So yeah, and there's nothing fun about that. Yeah, even if you're trying to prove that you can do it, it doesn't really feel like an accomplishment overall. So yeah, that's just how I feel about when maps are. I think maps that you can grind through faster are a little better. That's just my opinion. The setup on this map is one of the best in zombies. You get to use Sally's for one. You have instant kill drops, forcing drops, and to run faster. So that's pretty much what you're using Sally's for, and it's really cool. Sally's is just the coolest thing. I mean, you're shooting little rockets out of two-wheel pistol. Logically makes no sense, but I love it, man. And the way they sound, the way they work. They just feel really cool. They're really fun to use. Then you also get to run with ray gun, which I know it's not popular, but I love using it. And get to keep it yeah, and that's another thing. You get to keep it all the way to the end to reset. So because you're always gonna have like random dogs spawning up, so the ray gun pretty much is what you're gonna be using to deal with that. All the way to the end, all the way till you hit reset. Not that many people ever really make it that far, but let's say you're just doing a casual high rounder game, like yeah, you can hang on to the ray gun for that. You don't have to use the ray gun. You could use other weapons because I mean, Bowie knife can kill it in two knives, but that kind of becomes risky. Or you could use like the Thompson pack a punch. You have other options, but the ray gun it's the one shot kill, so it's really the most optimal choice. And I personally, I've liked the ray gun. I think it's kind of weird how it used to receive dislike. Even though Cold War they brought that back, so yeah, ray gun's pretty cool. You also use Bettys in this map instead of Claymores, which are more powerful, but I dislike that you can't pick them back up. But they definitely come in handy for drops and whenever you want to throw them with the monkey bombs as a combination. You throw down a monkey bomb, and then as the horde gathers up, you drop a Betty or Claymores or whatever. But in this case, the Betty, and that comes in handy when you're trying to force drops. This map is the first to introduce Monkey, which, yeah, so which are a great feature for when you're red screening, forcing drops, using Sally or Betty combos. Monkeys is just a thing, all the way up to, especially in Black Ops 1, it started on the Riese War, but in Black Ops 1, man, monkeys they're just they're really useful thing. They come in handy, and it's just like a signature for zombies. So, and they come back in BO2, so yeah, I think they're really cool. But the best weapon on this map is the Wonderwall. This gun is fun to use, man. I really enjoy it. Shocking them and connecting them. The whole lightning bolt it does hurt my eyes when I watch the white light, but I love it, man. It's really fun to watch, and it has unlimited damage all the way to the end, all the way to reset. And it sucks that it can only kill 10 zombies at a time, but this map introduces the pack-a-punch to it, so you can get more ammo out of it. And yeah, I mean, personally, I always enjoyed using the Wonderwaffe. It's not as good as the Thunder Gun, but I mean, damn, it's a really cool. I don't know. I think it's way more fun to use than the Thunder Gun sometimes. The game plan is what makes this map the best map, honestly. Early rounds, you camp Thompson room. Mid rounds, you use traps. There's different versions, one being faster and riskier, which is for more of the competitor players type when they're going for world records, like the triple trap strat, which is using all three traps, but you're also using the Wonderwaffe. And for kills while still using traps, once you run out of ammo, you continue to hit the box and keep trading weapons while hitting the box until you get waff back. Then proceed killing while still running them through the traps. Although when you do get the waff back, you'll predominantly be using it in the Thompson room, so till you run out of ammo and pack-a-punching it. Then after running out of ammo, you go back to trading and running traps. If you're determined and care for high rounds, you'll continue trades during normal rounds and be using them in the Thompson pack-a-punch with a Thompson pack-a-punch with a pack-a-punch Thompson, I mean, and camping Thompson room for insta-kill rounds. Overall, I think this is the best map because of its gameplay. It doesn't get boring. Instead, it feels fluid, meaning you don't feel like you're moving in a constant pattern, like I was saying this earlier, which is really boring, and I end up spacing out on this map. You're constantly needing to adapt and are diligent because of dogs, and there are no stationary moments. This map can make anyone better at zombies, and that's really important for those of you who are into getting better at zombies. If you really want something that feels like a challenge and you want to get better, this is a really good map to start off on. I think for everybody, so. It's not one of the hardest ones, but it's definitely one of the most fun ones. And I think that's what makes zombies great. If you're not having fun, you really, why are you playing? It's like, and this is one that makes it fun and interesting. So yeah. Whether you're a beginner playing zombies for a while, right now Slayer has. Oh yeah, by the way, Slayer has the world record on this map, and it's the highest round possible that's been reached on Black Ops 1 so far, which is round 250. Which I respect over any other zombies game because it requires much more discipline and endurance, proving its high demand and determination. So yeah. Uh, Other than that, I mean, this map is pretty dope, man. I mean, honestly, if you guys haven't played it, I definitely strongly recommend it because I think this is just the best map in Black Ops 1, and I think in zombies generally. Because I mean, I know I haven't played them all, but I have at least invested time into watching each map and the gameplay, the strategy, and all that. And I know that doesn't, I know some people would say that doesn't make it credible to be able to have an opinion towards those maps if you haven't played them, because I say stuff like that too all the time. But once you've played enough zombie maps, especially on a serious note, on trying to like high round it and trying to actually achieve an objective, that has to do with it's more based on trying to improve your skills, like high running or playing faster or stuff like that, or even first room challenges or any of the other challenges that competitive players do. When you try to do stuff similar to that, or at least try to improve yourself at zombies, it doesn't have to be competitive. It could just be something personal. I think this map is definitely the one that has an appeal for everybody because like I was saying, it doesn't get boring. You can grind rounds faster, so that's something that makes a huge difference versus when you play other maps that get boring really quick and they feel too dreadful to even grind the rounds out. So yeah. Whereas like games like World at War, it's only 24 zombies a round, so grinding through rounds is really fast, but it can be really boring too. So. Like Nadir and Toad in World at War, I mean, yeah, the rounds will go by faster, but if you've done World at War, it's really boring using a flamethrower, and or like using, or like Shinonuma. That's like too easy. It doesn't even feel like a little bit of a challenge. Whereas this one, it feels like a little bit of a challenge. It feels like you're actually doing something. Yeah, so it's hard to explain it. You have to actually do it. So, but it feels really good. Like you're moving around in Thompson room. And then you swap out, you gotta use the ray gun, and then you gotta move around, you gotta use different patterns of traps, and then when you're trading for the waft to get it back, you're changing it up all the time, so, and you're adapting a lot, and so it's, unless you're going like competitive high rounds, which that's a separate story. It's pretty fun. I've enjoyed this map the most. I wish I would have discovered this map over. Well, I wish I would have put more time into this map than like Kino or some of the other maps that I've done, like 5, and I forgot what other map I've played a lot of. Yeah, mostly Kino and 5. But yeah, the Riese is definitely, I think, it's the best map. I probably should at least try the other maps like on BO3 and. Well, it's hard for me to even compare it with BO3 and BO4. BO4, I don't even feel like I even need to mention it. I think anybody that's played these maps, played these games, and played BO4, they all say the same thing. So I don't think I really get to even dispute that. But BO3 is definitely one that people get kind of defensive when I give it any negative feedback. And it's mostly common sense. I mean, we already know that BO3 was made easier. Gobble guns and AATs and stuff like that. It's just the equipment and the wonder weapons there. They made it a lot more easier, which also makes it fun. And that's why people like going high rounds on those games. Whereas on this one, it gets really boring. So that's why I don't blame people for not wanting a high round on this one. It's like after a while, I kind of realized that. So. But me, I always enjoyed the challenge, but of doing it anyways because it was harder to do it. But on Kino, man, I got tired of it after a while. It was just like, this is boring. It takes long. You get into this routine pattern, and I end up spacing out. And when you don't have anybody to talk to or music or something to distract you as like background noise or something to keep you entertained throughout the time, it can still get boring. So. Whereas on this map, like, it doesn't feel that way. So, if anything, I should probably give it a try, and try and high round it. I definitely would look forward to doing that or streaming that. If anybody would look forward to seeing me try to stream high rounding on this one. I definitely, if I was going to go back to high rounding, I would probably try and do this map. or maybe even Ascension. You know, even though I used to give a lot of negative feedback on Ascension for being too easy, I would still try it just because it's fun and you can grind through maps, grind through rounds a lot faster. Whereas it feels like you're doing something, you know, it's hard to explain. Like when you do high rounds, it's just, yeah, it gets, you know, when you're going like past to like round 100 or higher, you know, you get into this boring routine pattern. So, you know, and it's even boring to watch. So yeah, that's another thing. Whereas this one, I don't even feel bored watching somebody play this. So, I mean, maybe over hours and hours, yeah, sure. Of course, at some point we do get bored, but for like about a good 10-20 minutes, I could watch somebody do this, like, and understand, like, okay, what are they doing? Why are they doing that? You know, I think it's pretty fun. That's just my opinion. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to let me know, you know, I'm pretty sure everybody loved Riese. This was like one of the first best maps that came out, you know, back in the day. You know, it had the, you know, the pack punch and the waft, which was like a really big thing back then, and then monkeys. So yeah, I like the BO1 version better, but you know that's for obvious reason because you don't lose Jug. And then you got Sally's with Meal Cake. Yeah, it's just really cool. So you know, to throw that in the mix, especially because you're gonna be using that to get drops and to deal with zombies. So anyways, kind of repeating myself now. So alright, I hope you guys have a good day and y'all take care. Alright.